Sure do. Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. How are you? All right, I'd like to please call this meeting to order. And if you could, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. For all. Thank you. And if the clerk could please help me with a roll call. Here.
Sarah Devereaux,
Here.
Green,
Here.
Lewis, McKinney, Robinson, here, Schwartz.
All right, thank you, clerk. And moving to approval of the agenda, I'd like to please amend the agenda and add 2 items. The first item, which was passed out at the table, is Resolution 2026-32, which is a resolution to approve a professional assessing services agreement with WCA Assessing. And the second item is a letter that has not been assigned a resolution, but is a letter and proposal from Wild Type Native Plants Ecological Services regarding rewilding in Superior Township.
Supervisor, will that be, item you mentioned, will it be item 10G?
I would like to take the first item as 11A.
Sorry, 11A.
Yep, I'd like to do 11A and then
Oh,
why don't we
everything
do
has to move down.
11B and then move everything else down?
Thank you.
So you're gonna make this A and B, okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Is there,
So moved.
Second,
Oh,
oh wait,
did you already do it, Brenda? Oh, Brenda, she said Brenda's already done it.
okay, so Brenda and Lisa's second.
Brendan and Lisa, thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Moving to citizen participation. If there's something that you would like to speak to that's on the agenda, please join us at the podium and share your name. And please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Hello.
Hello, Brenda Baker, Ashton Court. Speaking about the Committee to Promote Superior Township, which is in your communications. Have your monthly infographic, what we've been up to in the last month, and there are copies for the audience back on the table as well. It's just the bullet points of what we've been up to in the last month, fairly self-explanatory. I wanted to remind you that we're still up to what we're doing. And of course, Superior Day has been at the forefront of what we've been working on lately. But we also had some follow-up from the roadside cleanup and continuing with the Dixboro Farmers Market, which runs throughout the season. And, oh, I also wanted to note that our flyer for people that want to come to our meetings or participate with the committee has been updated for the second half of the year. I've put a fresh copy out there. It gives our meeting dates for June through December. And I'm trying to pull all the ones that have the old dates on them. And so if you have any questions about the Committee to Promote Superior Township, I am here.
Thank you very much. I see a Ms. Lewis with a public comment.
Yes, I'd just like to thank everyone who came out on Saturday to Superior Day. It was a successful event. Thanks everyone for being there. Thanks everyone who participated in any way, shape, form, or fashion to ensure that it was actually a successful event. And of course, the weather was absolutely wonderful that day. So again, thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis.
Hi. My name is Jan Ulrich. I'm a resident at Lakeview Estates, and I'm here today for two reasons. First is to thank you as the Superior Township Board of Trustees for rejecting the rezoning and development proposal for Prospect Point South at the last meeting on May 18th. We in the neighborhood felt heard and supported due to the many concerns of the plan that would have affected us. But I'm not only here for my immediate environment. The protest wasn't just about being a NIMBY. The day of that meeting, we witnessed another wooded area bulldozed and land leveled for another massive development of individual homes fronting Getty's Road. In our work preparing, we found this report, the Getty's Road Corridor Study from 2005, that helped inform us. Some of the recommendations that have been completed, but many of them still have not. Nonetheless, developments have continued to be approved and built. I don't know how many hundreds of homes have been added in the past 20 plus years, each contributing cars and traffic. The study was done in anticipation of growing population and use of the roadways. However, that infrastructure that was recommended has not been built. Had the recommendations been followed, Prospect at Getty's Road would have had a 5-lane intersection by 2015. By that same year, Getty's Road itself would have had 5 lanes from Superior Road to east of Prospect Road. By 2020, it was recommended that Getty's be 5 lanes all the way from Superior Road to the east boundary of the township. Instead, today, Getty's Road still is only 2 lanes except for a couple of intersections. So those dates are now more than 5 and 10 years past. However, development is being approved. So how development is being approved anywhere along this corridor when the infrastructure has not been built to support it makes no sense to me. It is unimaginable that Getty's will someday need to be closed for expansion when there are now so many residents who depend on that to move anywhere along the road. So I'd love to see a moratorium on new developments until the township has created the infrastructure to support them. It only makes sense. So please think carefully about any and all development proposals that come before you that will contribute to traffic on Getty's Road and all the other roads that feed into it. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm TC of Willow Run Acres. I would like to talk about the compost at Clay Hill. Between homeschool elementary, grades 2 to 5, which is 300 kids, and Henry Ford Early Learning Center is 300 kids. Between March of this year and June of this year, we have successfully taught 600 kids about gardening and farming, 3 out of 7 courses at these 2 schools. Those schools also has a partnership with Willow Run Acres to produce and provide composting. We have successfully converted food waste that was at the 2 schools for the past 2 years to create compost to give back to the community, which is equivalent to 75 yards. We want to thank the township very much for allowing us to have a space to create compost for the local residents that's here in Superior Township, and also to provide education space for the children for the next generation of farming and gardening at these 2 schools. It's very important that the youth learn about food waste and how to properly to dispose of food waste. We do have several different grants that has been provided with our new updated lease agreement. We have a USDA grant that's $265,000 that's contingent on the composting facility and also worm cultivation. We have a SARE grant that is a $30,000 grant combined with ICPJ that also is a $5,000 grant. With these 3 grants combined, is close to $300,000. That's to bring in education for composting and worm culture conservation, and practices so that way we can teach the newer generation about food waste. Our goal is to pilot and to accept food waste that we do not allow grease, dairy, cheese, or bread products to be thrown away, but food scraps such as leafy greens, peeled oranges, potatoes, and carrots, things of that nature. So that way we're trying to exchange a bucket and we give you a bucket, a clean bucket, and you give us your scraps back. We process it, and we are also educating the community how to do that by having workshops. It has been successful, and at the same time, we have 22 families that has filled all community raised beds at the Clay Hill operation. That's on MacArthur and Harris. At the very beginning, 3 years ago, we only had one resident. Last year, we had 4. Now we have 22 residents. So our progress and our work is delightful and very helpful and is successful. So I would like to further hold on to our composting facility if possible, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you for keeping it at 3 minutes. Thank you.
Good afternoon,
Hello.
Board. I'm Curtis Freeman, Park and Recreation Commissioner, also a member. I live in 166 Sheffield. I'm here today to just inform people about the meeting tomorrow in Ypsi Township about the data center meeting that they're having here. That's our sister township that I think we should be conscious of. I own property there and here. So if they can do it in Saline, they can do it in Ypsi Township, they would come here. I want to appreciate the board for putting things in place already to try to prevent that from occurring. I think we just need to stay conscious and we need to be more proactive than reactive on this issue and keep up the fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi there, Tom Brennan. I live on Sheffield Drive. So I just wanted to put a little plug in. What I noticed from the roadside cleanup, with all the trash, I filled 2.5 bags in about a half-mile stretch of Gettys. And it wasn't just random littering, it was the clusters of trash. And I just want to point out that I suspect it might be from trash trucks losing their load going along Gettys. So I just wanted to kind of put that on the record for tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything online? Okay.
Here
And I
goes.
see another in the audience. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Willie Seacrest. I live at 8615 Cherry Hill Road, just down the block here. I'm here in support of T.C. Collins' operation at Willow Run Farm and Gardens. I've been working with TC now for a couple of years. I helped to hire the AmeriCorps fellow who worked with him for half a year. Quite frankly, working closely with TC for the last couple of years, I'm just astonished at this gentleman's expertise, not just as a gardener and a farmer, but as an educator. I've seen him doing his educational work with young people. And what we need to do is support this. I represent the Friends and Neighbors of Willow Run Acres. And they're not here, but I am. And I'm speaking on behalf of many others, such as Mary Emmett of Plymouth Orchard and Barry Margolis down the road. We've all been working together with TC to help him get his garden up and running. And if you've seen it, it's amazing. And he's out there every morning from dawn till dusk, working the garden. And then any spare time he has, he's working in the schools. He's lost that property that the township said you can't use that anymore on the corner of MacArthur Boulevard and Harris. He's lost that 2 acres. He's losing $300,000. I'm proposing that the Superior Township pays to purchase land which is for sale adjacent to the Willow Run Farm and Gardens. It's all there. It's all for sale. And if we buy that land, either 2 acres, which he needs, or the whole 14 acres, which is for sale, much of it is wetlands, but it could be used for educational purposes, and it would also keep Willow Run Farm and Gardens moving forward with the $300,000, which would be really good for the township and for the community. So I really hope that this board will find a way to purchase some land to keep it going. Come on.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Sechrist.
That's
Thank you
what I
very
had to say. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jack Smiley on Cherry Hill Road. Having sat through the zoning meeting, I just want to note that I'm quite disappointed but not unexpectedly so with the recommendation of the planning consultant. I'm not surprised because I didn't think they were open to improving the master plan very much either. But in particular, in regards to making the A2 zoning just agricultural zoning, I thought her excuse was not really valid. I've personally owned property that was downzoned and it was just grandfathered in. And there's only probably a half dozen properties that would be affected. And I think if you look at the zoning ordinance as it is written, there's virtually no protection under the A2 zoning for more intensive subdivisions. So I think each of you, or many of you, we elected with the expectation that you would fight for the residents to keep the open space character of Superior Township. And I would just urge you not to give up.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other public comment and understanding that there is nothing online, I'll move to supervisors' comments. And I've submitted a document. Yes,
When
please.
can we comment on those assertions that were made?
After the meeting, rather than
After
engaging in
the meeting?
dialogue back and forth, my
I
one.
don't agree with that because
to
you
comment.
forget about it, people leave. You can't effectively communicate that way in public. So I disagree with that totally.
Okay,
We've always had response
yes,
for 40 years. I don't see why we should cut it off.
okay. Thank you for your perspective.
I would make a motion that we allow trustees and administrative staff to make return comments to public comments.
I don't support that, because once we begin engaging in a back and forth, historically, we've also seen, at this board that the meetings can become less than professional. And in my history working with the township and also, being a convener of public meetings, there's no reason that we can't take notes and follow up after the fact and work with our residents. And so
What
considering
happened?
wanting to uphold decorum,
What happened? They leave.
that's why we're able to get their information.
I totally disagree with that. For 40 years, we allowed that to happen, and it was productive in many ways. We could settle issues up front without it being pushed off to the end.
Point of order.
Please, Mr. Green.
So there is a motion that has been brought to the table.
Okay.
So I believe as a point of order that we'd have to vote on it.
Okay.
We can discuss it first.
If there is a motion for
Discussion is
discussion.
always relevant to a motion
Yep,
before a vote.
that is correct.
May I offer an alternative?
Sure.
So since our public comment is required to be on items that are on the agenda, could we have board members address any public comments once we get to those agenda items?
I think that that would certainly be fair, but too, in terms of best practices across municipalities and townships, it's advised that we receive the public comment and follow up after the meeting. But I think calling out unique points that you think are particularly salient or you want to discuss when we get to that agenda item is, certainly appropriate. And I think that that's how we've mostly been conducting ourselves
Mhm.
I
thus
would agree
far.
with that.
Yeah, but some of the items have no bearing on the agenda. They're off left field. They need to be answered by the citizen. If we have some knowledge or some information that could help them understand what's going on, I think that's beneficial to the entire public wheel.
And I would advocate that if there is a unique issue where you want to follow up with a member of the public, that the clerk's office collect their phone number, email, so that we can follow up with them after the fact. And I found that to be extremely productive. And
That's a lot of, it's not going to happen because people want to speak, they would like a response, they leave and they don't follow up. Because they come to the meeting thinking they're going to engage with their trustees and then we say, oh, after the meeting, or call the clerk. That's not right. It's wrong.
Got a question?
Please. Thank you for your level of decorum, Mr. Green. All right. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Aye.
I'm opposed. All right, the motion fails. Thank you.
Democracy dies in bits and pieces.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving to the supervisor's report. Quite a bit of focus this month on public health and safety. We, as the township, and I have been working with HUD, the sheriff's office, and our federal representatives to do a 100% audit of Sycamore Meadows. And the township has not only filed a form of suit against the current receiver, but also been working with the current owner, who is an LLC that is the holder associated with Capital One. So we've got some news related to that, and been working very strongly around public safety and pulling levers to make sure that our community is safe. Some quick updates. I know that there's been a couple of years since this community superior that we initially received the grant for the ADA improvements for a variety of ramps across our community. As many of you know, there was an issue getting easements from some of the property owners, but I'm happy to share that we are expecting construction to begin in July, which I know a lot of folks have been looking forward to. Sure.
Excuse me, is that on the Gettys Road?
Mostly around, Oak Brook, Getty's Ridge, a little bit around Panama, Washington Square. Yep. And with that, it's been very busy, and thank you everyone for being so collaborative, whether it's through the beautification committee, being supportive and joining in our work along MacArthur, and making sure that our most vulnerable residents are protected, and continuing to note what some of our partners next door, our neighbors, are up to, so that we can not always reinvent the wheel, but work horizontally and use best practices. And I appreciate those mentions. And I invite you to take a look in the packet when it's later posted online. I'll be posting this also on social media platforms with more information around what's taking place, particularly around the MacArthur Boulevard area. But I would like to now have our presentation, which is with Priority Waste, and we'll be joined by Sam Caramano. And I don't believe that we need a motion. Be moving right ahead.
Good evening, Supervisor and Board. Sam Caramagno, Priority Waste. I'm here to give you a little update on where we've been and where we're going. We did meet with Supervisor and Steve back in April about some of the problems we were having with billing and service issues. But since then, we've had a number of changes again at Priority Waste. Our CEO, Todd Stamper, had been removed from leadership at Priority Waste and removed from the board. We had an interim period where we had some more changes at Priority at our corporate suite. And then we most recently brought in a new CEO, Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson is a fourth generation garbage man who once worked for Waste Management. I met him about 25 years ago. So he shares a great deal of experience in the rubbish industry, and now he is our CEO. I can tell you that TPG is a private equity firm that took control of Priority Waste. They're a $308 billion asset management firm. They came to Priority Waste with $160 million that allowed us to spend that money in areas we needed some big support. And it allowed us to buy a lot of the trucks we were having on the rental program. And it also allowed us to order 91 brand new pieces of equipment. So those pieces of equipment were ordered 2 months ago. They're starting to arrive now. And there's 91 of them coming throughout Metro Detroit. And they'll be dispersed, again, throughout Metro Detroit, that will help us with our service issues that we continue to see. So these trucks will be a huge asset and a big move in the right direction for us. There's a lot more. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I'd like to answer any questions you've got, field any concerns you've got. So please.
If I may, just one more thing I want Mr. Carabagno to point out, just maybe discuss a little bit about the portal that's been created, that we can now track some of our constituent complaints and some of the process improvements that you've made with the township.
Yes, Superior Township has a portal, a service portal where complaints can be entered, whether it's a complaint about missed pickup, maybe a cart delivery, a cart replacement, they can all be put into a portal. And the portal's tracked, it has an opening date, a closing date, and any action that was taken in regard to the complaint, whether it was a missed pickup was collected, could be something as simple as it's not recycle week, it's yard waste week. So everything is tracked now. I know that there officially today, there's about 6 items in the portal that have not been closed, but they'll be closed by the end of today. You also have about a dozen cart deliveries that are in our cart delivery system. They'll be delivered here in short order. Some of the cart problems we had in the past were again related to the prior leadership, and this new money that's come in allowed us to buy more carts and put more delivery trucks on the road. So we're quickly closing in on a lot of the problems we've had. There were some billing issues. We discussed those as well. There's 3 ways to pay your bill: electronically, you can write a check, you can do a credit card as well, you pay over the phone. So there are options related to that. We had a meeting with our billing coordinator, Pam Friedman, who also has been given a great deal of leeway on adjusting bills that have been either wrong or not paid, or maybe some overdue fees. She's had that responsibility, and she's been able to fix a lot of those things in rapid fashion just in the last couple of months.
McKinney?
Yes, thank you so much for your report. When is our contract up with you?
I think we got 2 more years. I don't have the date in front of me. I think it's 2 more years.
Well, when our contract is up and you do negotiation, would you please consider putting some funding in the contract for the township? When we had Republic Waste, we got $5,000 a year for the public, and we use that money for recycling education. And some of that funding went toward Superior Day. I heard you did donate some money this year, but could you consider putting maybe a $5,000 donation or something close to that so that we can continue funding our Superior Day?
Yeah, I'll take a good look at that. I know we have not in the past donated many money, but this year we were able to free some money up, and we did donate some, and I'll try to get some more next year.
And the other question I have, when you call in, there's a number, 1866 number, 586 number, I can't remember.
You have it memorized, Brenda?
Pardon?
She seems to have it memorized. That's not a good
Right,
sign.
That's bad.
I've been calling it for 3 days, and they've been promising to call me back, and I have not gotten a return call. Is it because you're real busy or something? Is that what's going on?
There's probably no secret. We've been in the news a little bit for bad service in and around Metro Detroit. When that happens, the phones go crazy and they ring. We get 4,000 calls a day recently, but as of the end of last week, we hired a third-party phone answering service, ACS, out of Troy. So after 4 seconds, it fields over to another phone answering service to relieve the workload right now. So you should be able to get your phone answered rapidly right now and get the answers. The phone service will take cart request and missed pickups. Any billing issues, we like to keep them in-house so we can go into our system and answer those questions with our systems.
Yeah, I'll wait a couple more days.
Well, what was the issue? If you want to give it to me now, or you want to give it to me later?
Gotten a bill yet, and I don't like to miss my bills,
And you've gotten a bill in the past?
Pardon?
You've gotten bills in the past?
Yes.
And all of a sudden you didn't get one?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't say anything.
Maybe it was birthday.
You could give me your address. What is it?
2153 Wiltshire.
21 what?
53 Wiltshire.
Wiltshire, W-I-L-T?
S-H-I.
S-H-I-R-E? No bill.
And we can,
Well, I didn't say I didn't get a bill, but
Careful what you wish for.
and we can also, with those issues, Ms. McKinney, plug that in on the portal side with the township. And they're able to track that internally rather than going through the call log.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss sending the payment in.
I'll check that for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam, I just wanted to say thank you. I know that in the beginning there was a struggle, And it has certainly gotten better. And thank you again for the donation that we did receive. I have a question though. A couple of times there were reports about trucks that were leaking oil. Has that been rectified?
Yeah, it's in the process of being rectified. We've got a whole team at our Wayne Yard that services Superior Township. We've got a whole team of maintenance managers coming in. Our Wayne Yard, the yard my son runs, that's going to be our template site. We've got a lot of things happening there. We've got the LDCs that you may or may not have been familiar with. They were at our corporate office in Chesterfield, Clinton Township, Michigan. They would take the calls, they would take the trucks, dispatch the trucks, but they were never at the site. They're being moved to the site these days. We got a whole fleet of technicians coming to the site, a actual maintenance manager at the site. We've not had that since it's been priority waste. They're there now. They'll be restaffing that at appropriate levels. I was in a meeting all day with those folks today. So we're getting there, and you're going to see dramatic improvements very soon.
Well, thank you very much. And again, I want to say, I truly believe that there have been improvements made since the beginning. And so thank you, and I wish that you all continue to make those improvements, and with the increased staff or the change in staff, that things will continue to get better. So
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of the comments that have been made. I do know we are experiencing some significant challenges when Priority first came aboard. And in the time since, I think there have been improvements. Candidly, I am a bit nervous, given, all the transitions that happened. You listed several changes in your C-suite. You also mentioned like acquiring some new equipment, trucks and cans and things like that. So I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to see those benefits in the next year or so before your contract is up. But I do appreciate you coming and talking with us today. But just want to make sure that I do note that I still have some concerns.
I understand. And we want to put those concerns to rest. We want to clean the board, level the board here, and show you what we really can do. Again, we've got this 160 million here, allowed us to buy all the rental trucks out. Again, 91 brand new trucks, plus all over the board, even carts. We were just flat out of carts. I don't want to get into all of the corporate trouble we've had, but we were teetering on bankruptcy with the old regime, and we're back to a solid footing right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Schwartz?
So Sam, where I live, we've had no problems. Once in a while, I think it comes a day late, the garbage and maybe the recycling once in a blue moon. But overall, I think the service on our road, and Sarah can talk about it, has been good. And we know how we started off.
Bumpy road.
And, it's improved a great deal.
Thank you.
Devereaux?
Yeah, I agree. Things have gotten significantly better, like in the early weeks when Priority took over. My husband and I were picking up our garbage for our neighbors in our truck and taking it to the dump because it was taking forever. But things have improved significantly. So I have a couple questions, but first, just to piggyback on the thank yous. You all were absolutely wonderful with the roadside cleanup. And we were able to get you locations of where the bags were, and we had pickups happen within 24, maybe like 36 hours. It was great. Like we did a bunch of individual pickups as well. So we weren't even having pickups done on your normal days, and your staff and everybody was really wonderful. So Saturdays. Yeah. I mean, it made a huge difference because the citizens, the residents, whether they participated or not, could see how quickly the bags were picked up, which was just fantastic. So from my perspective, and I know the deputy supervisor feels the same way, it was a really good partnership, and we appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Two quick questions. So Ms. Lewis highlighted the oil leaks, and I think there was oil and also hydraulic fluid. So not just oil, like there was also some brake fluid and some other things on the trucks. When you say that that's getting rectified and your mechanics are on it, are those trucks still being deployed, or are they being held until the leaks are stopped?
They're being held. We've got about
Great.
just over 20% of our fleet is down right now, being held for just those kind of things. Becomes very expensive. The new garbage trucks are not what the old garbage trucks were, if you can believe that or not. They're very complicated with all the moving parts. So
Yeah.
over 20% of our fleet is down right now for those type of repairs.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but thank you for not sending them back out if they're leaking. So that's great to know. The other point that I just wanted to get your thoughts on, we had a resident in public comment who highlighted that during roadside pickup that he noticed that it seemed like trash might be flying off of garbage trucks. It wasn't just people throwing litter out of their cars. I just wanted to put two more data points on your radar and then see what's the best way for me to follow up on this. So the one is that I've seen the trash flying off the cars, flying off the garbage trucks. So that's one concern, and how those are being secured. And with your improvements and maintenance on the trucks, maybe that's also being addressed. But the other thing is running the roadside cleanup for the last few years and then doing individuals in between. I can tell where the garbage trucks are driving. Like you can tell which roads they're taking to get in and out of the township because you're seeing the same kind of stuff. And the litter that you see most often that I think probably falls within this category is stuff that people would throw away in their garages without putting it in bags. So when you look at what's out there, it's empty bottles of motor oil, like it's empty pack of cigarettes, like it's a beer, like it's whatever people are doing, right? Like in their garages, and they're just chucking it in the bin and not putting it in a bag. I can't say that I don't do the same thing. But my thought is that is there anything that we can do, in order to in order to address any trash that might be flying off the back of the garbage truck?
There are things that we can do. There's certainly things the residents can do. You mentioned it.
Absolutely.
If the residents bag their trash, just because it's in a cart doesn't mean you don't have to bag it. If you bag the trash, it dramatically decreases the loose garbage that's in the truck and prevents the blowing around. As far as our trucks go, we use a variety of trucks: rear load trucks, front load trucks, side load trucks. When we close them up, they're generally pretty tight, but sometimes they're open if we're collecting, and if it's a very, very windy day, occasionally things will blow out of the truck. We will tell our drivers. I just made a note here to remind the drivers again that if they see something fall out of the truck, stop and pick it up, and keep an eye out for these things.
Yeah. I have not seen that happen. And I'll tell you, it's Getty's, it's Vreeland, and it's Prospect.
Main roads.
Those are the three roads. Like you drive down Clark, and there's virtually nothing, and I'm guessing your truck doesn't go down Clark, like with it open. Because you're stopping more frequently, so the truck's not flying down the road. Vreeland in particular, you've got a ton of space in between residences, and they go quick, like down the road. So I can understand if it's open, that it would fly out.
We'll have that conversation with them in the morning, tomorrow morning.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to chat about it because I think the more than 50% of the trash that we pick up falls into this category.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, seeing no other discussion, I just want to thank you for being here tonight, for continuing to make improvements. And I know that I've had significant concerns over the past, couple of years, but you've done your very best to address them. So thank you for hearing our concerns and continuing to make your business a better place.
Thank you. I'll take the compliments and the concerns back to our group tomorrow morning, and we'll begin addressing them again right away. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving to the consent agenda, is there a want to receive and file the agenda in its entirety?
Second.
The whole agenda?
Or just the consent agenda,
Oh,
everything
okay.
under 8. The whole agenda, receive and file it?
Yeah, I think that's what you said. We're good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous. Moving to 10, which is unfinished business. Item A, which is ordinance number 199, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Charter Township of Superior and to approve the area plan amendment for STPC 2509, Clay Hill Farm and Market, first reading.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discuss?
Discussion.
Okay. Mr. Green?
Um, okay, so first let me start by thanking the board for its flexibility. I know last month I motioned to postpone on this item pending results from the soil testing. I believe that we have received those results. And if I'm, just please correct me if I'm wrong, Madam Supervisor, but I believe the results were unremarkable as it pertains to significant contaminants, which is good. I think the only area of concern being the soil, what am I trying to say?
Raised beds.
Raised beds, thank you. Raised beds, which I believe that soil is purchased elsewhere and brought in. So that's of concern. Fuller run acres is something that should look into. But otherwise, the results were unremarkable. With that being said, I do, we did use that time in the interim to see if we can identify some alternative pathways to working with Fuller Run Acres and Clay Hill Community Farm and Garden as it pertains to the Harris Road parcel, which is where the primary garden is located, and then the west and east MacArthur parcels, which is where the compost, and that's what Mr. Collins referred to earlier, as well as the garden beds. And so there were a small group of us did meet with representatives from Carlisle and Wortman to discuss some potential proposals, some potential recommendations. One being that the area plan and preliminary site plan would be significantly scaled back, as there were significant concerns regarding capacity. I believe at the time that this board did review this ordinance, or this originally, there were 21 outstanding items from OHM listed as concerns, and so it then became not just a concern regarding the soil testing, but also a concern regarding capacity as it pertains to, which now believe would be 6 months to spend the ARPA money associated with the project. Also, there is, as Mr. Collins discussed earlier, there are 2 grants associated with the property that is just over $250,000. So with that being said, I brought 2 recommendations. Again, one of it would be significantly scaled back, with Willow Run Acres maintaining the lease on both the MacArthur parcels as well as the Harris parcel. Then the second recommendation being that Willow Run Acres will return the MacArthur parcel with the goal of maintaining the Harris parcel and continuing the good work that's been done there while we figure out a way for things to become more sustainable on the MacArthur parcels. Myself and our Parks Director, Juan Bradford, did meet with TC Collins over or at the Utilities Building to discuss this in detail. And I believe there are still some outstanding concerns from the Willow Run Acres team regarding the recommendation that I provided. And so I know that this board has significant concerns, and I know we'd like to discuss them. Madam Supervisor, would it be appropriate for Mr. Collins to talk at this time, or?
Sure, I'd first like to see if there's any other comments.
Sure.
Do we have a motion on the table?
Yes.
Sure did.
Yep, we did.
So I would first like to see if there's anything else is there anything else that the board would like to weigh in on related to Mr. Green's comment?
Well, one thing I'd like to say is that originally, Mr. Collins, we did not approve the site. We did not approve the site for like mass composting, but composting that would supplement your planting out there. No, it's
Can
not
I-
a compost center.
Can I speak on that if you don't mind,
Let me
please?
finish, then you can talk. It was not to be a compost center out there. It was to be composting as it would supplement the soil amendments that you needed for that site. It wasn't supposed to be selling compost off the property. That turns it into a commercial property, and that would require more scrutiny from Planning Commission.
Can I comment on that, please? So, thank you for bringing that part up. It is not a compost facility. We have it in 3 different sections. One is for composting processing for incoming. We have wood chips that was supposed to have been used for the raised beds and for the garden walking spaces, but that sits there because we were told to stop. So I did not move that part. If we were able to proceed, then those wood chips would have been moved into areas on the Harris Road side. No, we're not in the business to sell any compost. Our goal is to make our own compost and supply our own compost for our own fields out in the field. Compost tea for the leaf mulch that comes in from the community, so that way we can recycle that. Food waste that we want to pilot, which we received a grant for, so that way we can get at least 20 families to exchange a clean bucket to a dirty bucket. So that way we get them into the routine of eliminating food waste. So that way, any process of composting that we do create, they are happy to take that compost and beautify their land, their home. No charge at all, because we are not into making no money, because between Eagle and Washtenaw County, there are strict guidelines that you have to meet, that you got to sell so many cubic yards to become a commercial enterprise. We are not a commercial enterprise. We are trying to teach and educate the community by learning about teaching compost. That was the purpose of us getting the USDA grant, the $250,000 for a composting bin, a compost shed, a water pump, and an irrigation system, so that way we can turn the water on, turn the leaves, turn the wood chips, and turn the mulch, so that way they can all raise it up to temperature to break down the bacteria that's in the compost. Any extra compost that we do have, we want to give that out to the community, because the community comes first. That was our
If you're
goal.
not selling it, I don't have an issue with it. As long as you're using it for your own purposes, that's fine.
Well, when you say that selling, and I'm not trying to debate, we're not trying to sell any compost. We're trying to create compost so that residents, local residents, Superior Township residents comes first. They get to have the opportunity to learn how to make compost themselves, and also the benefits of compost tea. There's 3 different composts that we're trying to create. One from food waste, 2, the compost from leaves that's broken down, and for compost tea. The compost tea is good for antibacterial matter that's on soap that we use on our hands, but we're trying to do the reverse for that, so that way you can use the bacteria from the compost tea to put that on leaves, so that way we don't have to use any outside chemicals, because we're pledged to not use any harsh chemicals on the environment. So we're trying to make sure that we follow closely to the organic principle, but we're not certified to be an organic. We're trying to be as natural as possible.
So
Thank you for that. Thank you for that clarity, Mr. Collins.
I'm not done. The food processing you want to do out there's got to be specific rules for that, because whenever people have dumped food in Superior Township, it's drawn vermin. So you will have it like blocked off, or some way to prevent animals from getting into food composting?
So again, at the very beginning, when we were approved to have a small scale composting area, we had a section that we were allowed to have the fenced in area for the leaves to be put in one area. And only 20 families were supposed to drop off an itemized list of what's approved to be put in that area. We are to monitor that. It's not you just walk in there by yourselves and just dump it. We wanted to make sure that there's no dairy, no cheese, and no meat products, and no oil products, no plastic goes into this bucket. So that way they follow our rules as much as we follow the USDA rules. We're giving them the same rules as USDA is giving to us. We're following the same rules that Eagle has supplied many different operations about composting. So we're not making extra rules, because I took the composting class that's at Michigan State University, and I got certified in that. So I'm trying to follow the principle as much as I can, so I don't deviate from that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I think to Mr. Green's point, the spirit of the meeting that he helped put together, and also some of the conversations, it's, not considering whether or not the community or the board supports Willow Run Acres or Clay Hill. It's just taking into consideration what the board thinks is reasonable and feasible in terms of activity. And I think that that's important to note that, sure.
So I'd like to address that if I can, please. And I apologize for cutting you off.
Okay.
We were behind schedule because at the very beginning, the land got cleared off, and it took 18 months for the land to get cleared off. So that put us behind at least several months after that. So when it became on time, and I believe it was in October, after that we had asked the township to address the pile of wood branches that was there, because there was the residents kids that was out there playing on it, and I brought it up that we are a partner with Superior Township, and if we can get those branches removed, so that way none of the kids can play on the hill and play on the top of the branches. It took quite a while for that to be removed, and it successfully got removed from the time of, in November onward, we've been steadily trying to get caught up. So just 18 months, it took a while to try and get that process up and running, but I'm not blaming anybody. All I'm saying is that we're trying to play catch up. Yes, we are a little bit behind. That is true. But I'm going with the Planning Commission, trying to understand what they want in their procedure. I'm understanding what the board here would like us to do. I'm understanding what OHM is trying to have us to do. Also with the Road Commission and the Water Commission. Our team, Engineers Without Borders, is signing or having a submittal, if I get that word right, between this week, tomorrow and Thursday, so that way the site plan can be signed, so it can be sent back here with the board's recommendation. So we're trying our best to play catch up. So there's no,
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
trying to interrupt you, Mr. Collins.
Mr. Green.
Is that a scaled back site plan, like area plan, amended area plan with the preliminary site plan, or is it what we already have that includes the kitchen and the building and?
So yes, so thank you again. So just 2.5 weeks ago, we was informed by Michelle of OHM to resubmit the kitchen plan on our plan. So when it was taken off, now we had to go back and put it back on. So we're getting different mixed messages from Michelle from OHM, from the township telling us to hold on, to stop. And it's like, it's a tug of war because we're trying to do both at the same time. Because if we're supposed to stop, then we're told to put the kitchen back in. We're caught. And all I'm saying that we got so many different departments that's communicating, but everybody's not meeting at one time to communicate and say, hey, guys, you know what, let's get this process going forward. We just want to comply. We just want to navigate through this because this is our first rodeo.
As a point of clarification, regardless of whether it's the engineers or the planning commission or the planners, ultimately everything with this project is going to feed and finalize through the board. And two, I believe Mr. Bradford, who's here also, has been running point and making sure that there are streamlined communications across the engineers, the planners, and me and the board. So I hope that that's not the case, but I believe that there's been pretty solid follow-up, and ultimately everything would be finalized through us.
Well, I just talked to Juan, and Juan can speak for himself, that I had told him today when we met with Dana Green and Juan that this is the information that we got from Michelle about put this item on. I'm not making no excuses. All I'm saying that when we were at the last meeting, we were told to put everything on hold by selling produce until we find out the results on the soil analysis. That's what we were doing. I did scale back on the volunteer days so that way I didn't have a lot of volunteers to come out because I don't want volunteers to be standing there with no work to do. But we were just waiting on the test results. I don't have no excuses. I mean, I'm just complying to what you guys had told me to do by don't work on the MacArthur side, but continue to work on the Harris Road side. I would love to work on the MacArthur side because I want to make it look nice, just like I'm trying to do on the Harris Road side. It just, I have a lot of produce that's in the ground that I can't sell because if I buy it third party, who's going to buy a tomato for $2 when I'm trying to serve our community that is low income, that I want to give it to them for 50 cents. And I just want to make sure our residents come first.
Mr. Green?
Yeah, so Mr. Collins, I appreciate all of those points. So, and I understand what you're saying as far as the labor intensive work that you've done on both on the Harris side as well as the MacArthur West and MacArthur East parcels. With that being said, as far as the paperwork, what reassurances can you give the board that the amended area plan and preliminary site plan are going to be brought up to date with the appropriate things being asked for by our engineering team at OHM? And additionally, what, if any, assurances can you give us that your organization currently has the capacity to execute the site plan as it's been presented to us?
The best that I can ask is that I ask this board to please postpone this vote until we make sure we get adequate information from both the township, the planning commission, OHM, for we can present to you guys the right thing that you guys are asking us for. Because if we come half-stepping and then we get penalized for it and we have to have a step back, we're going to be losing ARPA dollars. We're going to be losing the grant funding. And I don't want to jeopardize all the work that you guys have presented for us to do and for the work that we have done for the township. We want to just make sure that we get our ducks in a row correctly, so that way we can present something. And all I'm asking is just, can we table it till next month's meeting, please?
Oh, that was going to be my question. How long would we be postponing it for?
All I ask is just for 1 month, please. So that way I can make sure our team, Engineers Without Borders, is making sure that they're submitting the paperwork.
You do understand that if this board was to postpone it for 1 more month, you still would be you're losing the month regardless.
That's understandable, but I'd rather face the board and let the board know this is what I'm up against, because losing and starting all over, I have to ask.
Mr. Schwartz?
TC, when you mentioned about the clearing of the land, you do realize the township spent 60,000 out of general fund to clear that land, and it was done, I think, within a year. We've spent $30,000 on testing. We spent almost $10,000 on fruit trees. We got over $100,000 into it right now. Plus, apparently you have received $40,000 out of the ARPA so far, which if that's true, I just don't know where that money's gone, because there hasn't been really any site improvements down there other than a little bit of planting on Harris Road. And even that wasn't supposed to happen until you had a site plan approved. So you need to get, it's vital that you get a site plan into the planning commission so that you can, do what you want to do out there.
Can I respond on that, please? Could you please talk into the mic so that way I can hear, because I am deaf in one ear.
Oh,
please?
sorry.
Okay. So I'm not here to have a tug of war match about when was and how it was. All I'm saying is that we can go back and look at time at an appropriate time outside of this meeting. We did ask for the land to be cleared. It took 2 companies to successfully clear the land. The trees that we asked for from the tree fund, that was from Hyundai, we got funding for that.
That wasn't out of the tree fund, that was out of general fund reserves.
Well, I'm not here to debate that, but all I'm asking is that when we were presented, there was funding for a tree fund that we had asked for. I never asked the township for anything else other than the project that we were working on. So all I'm asking is that we would like to make sure that what we're presenting for the next month's meeting, that we want to make sure that we are correct and that we make sure that our area plan and our site plan is updated and correct. Because true indeed, if we don't present it the right way, Dana told us that we have to hit the reset button. We have to sit there and approve it and shoot it down. I agree with that. And I listened to what Dana said. I listened to what Juan said. And when they both sit there and said, we got to compromise, if we cannot use that land because it's contaminated, because I did not know if it was contaminated still or not. I didn't get to hear the results because I stepped out. I don't want to lose what we had started going forward. And there was a trust and a promise from the community that we would provide food for the community. At the same time, being on that corner is vitally and very important, because we're trying to create, hopefully, at least 3 part-time jobs for single moms that lives across the street, so that way they have access to growing their own food, have a local job right across the street. It's right on the bus line. If there's a backup plan, we would like to know if we can move down to the library, because there's 11 acres that the township owns down there, and we would like to have a process to working on that land if the township is willing to compromise. But we just don't know where to go at, because every time when we try to go 2 steps forward, we're told to go to this direction, stop here, change this. And it's like, this is a lot. Yeah. And all I'm asking is just give us a chance. And I didn't ask for that much, but all I'm saying, just give me 1 month so that way we can make sure we got our paperwork together.
Did you want to make a point on that? I know Ms. Devereaux also has a question that she's been holding for a minute.
Who has?
Sarah has been waiting for a moment.
Oh, Sarah can go.
I just want to say a couple things. So, Mr. Collins and I have had several conversations, and I can say, very confidently that your ideas are fantastic. Like, you have great ideas for how to bring this kind of a project to the township, and your intentions are great. And I don't dispute your expertise. We had a wonderful conversation on Saturday, chatting about farming and natural methods, and like, it's incredible. The thing that I continue to be concerned around is just capacity and execution, and the ability, like what you're proposing is, it looks great, but I know how much work goes into all of this. And so my main concern, I just wanted to make sure that I said this out loud to Mr. Collins and also for the board, is around the ability to actually execute on this plan. And when it comes to the board approving an area plan, I think we have to be confident in the applicant's ability to execute on it, because we don't have an additional approval at the site plan level, right? Like, that goes through the planning commission. So this is our moment to make sure that we feel comfortable with moving the planning forward. But I also wanted to just highlight that I agree that if we were to postpone this vote, I think, and I, said something similar last month, we need to be really clear with what we're asking. So how's it going to be different? How's the conversation going to be different in July than it is tonight and than it was in May? And I think we just need to be very specific about, okay, in order for us to make an informed decision in July, what information and what evidence of capacity and the ability to execute are we asking Mr. Collins to bring back to this board?
Can I talk before, can I ask? So when we were told that to scale down from a building structure to what? Now went to a company out in in Livonia. It's called Tough Shed. And I talked to a representative and I said, is there a shed that we can get that can help us get over the threshold? He said to talk to the township, and it has to be a certain amount of feet, so that way it can go and pass inspection. I'm willing to get a shed, so that way we can have a place to sell produce. If it can't be a building, can we get a shed? I've asked those two questions and it's like, I don't get no definite answer. So it's like, what kind of structure can I put on there that can be satisfying for the township, the planning commission, and for the community?
The quick answer is none. You can't do anything without a final site plan. It's been 3 years and you haven't submitted even a preliminary sketch other than at the board meeting. But until you have a final site plan, you can't do anything out there. That whole planting on Harris Road is technically illegal. And when the prior planner brought it to me, she said, you want me to have them rip it out? I said, no, don't have them rip it out. But get them to get a site plan in. You can't put a shed up there, not even a shed, without a site plan approved. So we know its location, so we have setbacks, we have all those issues. So you can do that as part of your preliminary site plan and your revised area plan.
Juan, can you come up here for a second, please?
Mr. Green, would you like to?
Yeah, I'll do that while Juan is on the way, because I just want to be clear here, because what we have in front of us right now, even if Mr. Collins went back and made changes, right now we have a preliminary or amended area plan and a preliminary site plan in front of us. My understanding it has to be voted on, right, for him to start the process back over. So
reading
I guess like what I want clarity on as far as process is, because if the ask is we want you to significantly scale down, right? So TC, to Trustee Schwartz's point is, if you're willing to scale down, you have to present an area plan and preliminary site plan that shows that on paper. It has to go through the planning commission, and then it has to come to us. And then if the planning commission is in agreement and we're in agreement with it, it gets approved, then you can start building. You can't do any building or anything like that until those steps are completed. So if we were to postpone here today, please correct me if I'm wrong. Again, you're losing a month.
Correct.
What we are asking you to do at that point is change the preliminary area, the amended area plan and site plan to be significantly scaled down, right? It has to meet the requirements of OHM and the planning department. It has to go back to the planning commission, then it has to come here.
Give me 30 seconds, please, to ask one a question, please.
Well, while he's doing the 30 seconds,
Right.
so I have a point of order question. Because does it make sense to postpone this vote on this plan, if he's gonna have to resubmit another plan anyway? Like the plan that he's gonna be submitting is not gonna line up with what we have here. He has to restart the process anyway.
Right.
So we would need a new.
Mr. Lucas,
New.
could you weigh in on the smoothest order of operations here?
We would
Knowing that we want, if I'm getting this correctly, the board
Is that
wants the
first
board,
reading?
wants the area plan to be pared down.
Yeah,
No, this is the first.
No.
This is
No,
the first.
Yeah, we're
reading.
discussing.
yeah.
We're discussing.
There's been a motion to, yeah,
There's a motion.
there's been a motion.
Yes, there is
Yeah, there is a motion.
discussion right
All right,
But this is the first reading.
understood.
Okay.
It's the first reading, so that even if you vote on it right now, it only is the first reading and that would not be, well, it's not an ordinance. If it's just a motion, you can vote on the motion today. And it would be whatever you vote on would be done. Now, the other thing is that whoever made the motion can withdraw the motion if they so choose. That's an option.
I think that if I'm getting the mood of the board and also the way that I feel, I'm also very concerned about capacity, timelines, ability to manage a project. If the board wishes for the proposal to be significantly pared down and reduced in size and scope, does it make more sense to vote no today or to postpone and somehow amend the plan that's in front of us?
Who made the motion?
I believe I did.
You
Yeah,
you can
I did.
withdraw it.
Yeah, I want to understand the process.
Well, that's really more a matter of what you guys want to do rather than from a legal standpoint for what I can answer. I mean, the bottom line is you could vote no or vote yes on the motion, either one at this time. Danny could withdraw his motion and make a separate motion to adjourn this until the next meeting, to give, an opportunity for the parties to return with a pared down plan if such as the discussion that's here today. Those are the two options that are available to you at this point.
Right, but if I withdrew and with the expectation that he would return with a pared down plan, doesn't that pared down plan have to go to the planning commission first?
The the plan would have to go to the planning commission, but there's no plan in front of the planning commission at this point. So the bottom line is that whatever plan he presents is going to have to go to the planning commission, whether it's an existing plan or pared down plan or whatever.
Right.
They've not passed any judgment on any plan at this time, as I understand it, because nothing's been submitted at this point.
Fred,
Yes.
isn't it true that the board has complete authority over the area plan and not the planning commission?
Correct.
And then once that is approved, he needs to go back to the planning commission for his site plan approvals.
Correct. Site plan approval is done through the planning commission. Area plan comes to the board.
Now, if he was to submit, if we said yes today and he was to submit an amended plan, what position would that put the board in? Like he came
An
in?
amended area plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're considering today.
Yeah.
The question is, this thing's all screwed up. The bottom line is at this point, there is no approved area plan and there's no,
Yeah.
is there an approved area plan?
This is an area
The
plan.
planning commission did.
Yeah.
Prior one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that area plan, if you're talking about paring that area plan down, if that's the goal, then that would have to come back before the board, before the site plan could be submitted to the planning commission. So if that's what I thought you were referring to a pared down site plan, but no, okay.
If the area plan's pared down, so will the site.
Okay, so the area plan would also be pared down. Yeah, so basically what he would be doing is coming back before this board with a revised area plan. That would then have to be approved by the board before the site plan is submitted to the planning commission.
All right. Thank
So
you.
those are the options that are available at this point.
Can I ask Juan a question?
Sure.
Juan, can you step up? You know, the issue of capacity has been raised a couple of times. And at last meeting, I asked you to find out how many committed supporters, volunteers were with the nonprofit and the value of the non-government contributions, housing fundraising outside of government. I didn't get anything back.
I've got that on my laptop, and after these guys talk, I'll get you that information. They did, Jan Peart, who was working with them, did send me a list of funds that they had put together and donations and grants they had. As far as
Grants, I'm talking about, you know, once the grants are all going
Yes,
he's got to fundraise at that.
Yes, yep.
Every other
Yep,
nonprofit.
Yep, she had information on that.
All right.
As far as the capacity is bodies wise, I know when Trustee Green and TC and I met this afternoon, we talked about who's on his board, what their positions are, but we didn't really discuss the volume of on-site volunteers that he had. Says he has turned quite a few away because he's limited to the site on Harris and not doing anything on MacArthur.
Well, I've been out there almost every day for the last month. I've seen TC out there a few times, but I have not seen volunteers out there. Once, I think I saw a one man, but it has been pretty inactive as far as I can tell about with volunteers. TC's lifting the big load.
So yeah, sticking to the point.
I'd like to call the question soon. Or is there? Are there
Yeah, I
other
just want to
wrap-up
make sure.
things?
I just want to make sure I'm understanding the process because I'm trying to decide if I need to withdraw this or if we need to vote on it. So because right now there's an approved, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Charter Township of Superior and to approve the area plan amendment for Clay Hill Farm and Market. So my understanding is that this amended area plan had went through the planning commission already, was approved and brought to us. Okay, so TC is asking for a postponement. I have stated at this dais that the plan needs to be significantly scaled down. So does it make more sense for us to vote on this? This is the first reading, so ideally it would come back for a second reading. Understanding that the plan that's in front of us is not ultimately the plan that we need to see for capacity. So it feels like what needs to happen is this needs to go to a vote. He needs to bring a new amended area plan back to the planning commission and then come back to us. Okay, TC.
I'm just curious. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're passing this as an ordinance on the area plan? That's the way you're dealing with it as an ordinance, which is
Unusual.
to say the least.
We didn't do it in the past.
Yeah, I don't see that as being an ordinance. I don't see.
Okay.
That's just simply a motion to approve the area plan, because it's not really,
Even though it's a PC.
well,
It's a resolution.
it's a resolution. The underlying zoning is not changing, okay? The zoning remains PC. What you're doing is you're adopting an area plan for that.
Britta, can you talk in the mic?
I'm sorry. You're adopting an area plan for that PC. You're not changing the underlying zoning. So in that respect, it's not a zoning amendment. It's more akin to a site plan approval, which would not require an ordinance. That's why I'm saying, I was kind of surprised when he says it requires two readings, because I didn't realize that you had this listed as an ordinance. So I think that actually, if you are interested in having him resubmit a pared down area plan, I think that the proper vote would be to move to send this back to the planning commission for the planning commission to consider an amended area plan.
Okay, noted.
Okay.
So can I make an amendment to the motion?
Please.
So, a friendly amendment to the motion. So I motion to move, I don't even know what language to call this now. I motion to move the improvement of the area plan amendment back to the planning commission for review and approval.
Support.
Okay.
We're just sending it back for review, that's all.
Okay, for review. Sorry, excuse me. Just to clarify before we take this vote, TC, you need to move this within a month. So do you understand? You are being asked to pull together a clear amended area plan with preliminary site plan through the planning commission back to us within a month. You are losing that month regardless. Okay, do you understand?
You said area plan and site plan. You said them both at the same time. So I just want to make sure.
Area Plan.
Well,
What's
it's
in
the
front of
area
me?
plan initially, but there would not be a problem if he submitted, he could submit the site plan at the same time, which would save time.
It would save you time, yes.
But you do need to submit ultimately both an area plan and the site plan to the planning commission. For the planning commission can make recommendations relative to the area plan. And they could also recommend approval of the site plan, subject to approval of the area plan by the township board. So based upon what trustee Green is saying, I think that the appropriate steps that you have to take is to make sure that you get the amended area plan with the pared down dimensions to the planning commission as quickly as possible and if you want to move it along faster, also
Yeah.
submit your site plan at the same time.
A preliminary site plan.
Preliminary.
So
course,
I
Which is pretty easy.
supported Mr. Green's motion, and I'd like to please call the vote.
Do it.
Please have a roll call.
So,
Well, this will be back for review, so return this,
so
To amend.
Area plan at this point.
Dana.
You haven't got a site plan in
Yep.
front of you.
yes.
Dana,
couldn't the vote just be to just refer it back to the?
Yes, that's what the vote is referring it back to the planning commission.
Is that the only thing I thought we were going to approve or disapprove it and refer?
Sending it back.
No, we're just sending it back to the, yes,
so
yes.
trustee Green, can you read the motion again?
Yes,
please?
I move to refer this area plan amendment back to the planning commission for review.
Already got him.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, roll call, please, clerk.
Roll call. Dabish Yakine,
Aye.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
McKinney, Robinson, yes, Schwartz,
Yes.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
Can I,
Yep, we'll catch up with
can I
you.
ask the question, please? So what was the test results of the soil, please?
Yep, let's save that for pleas and petitions, and Mr. Bradford will be able to get that information to you.
Reason why I asked that, because I want to know if I can sell my produce.
Thank you. We'll catch up with you after the meeting, and Mr. Bradford can help handle that. I'm going to move ahead to item B, which is ordinance number 201, which is an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Charter Township of Superior and to approve the area plan for STPC 2601, Timber Creek Flats, second reading. And since they were here at our last meeting, and I believe they flew into town, and I did introduce them, would you guys please come to the podium to at least say hi? Thank you for being here. And is there a motion?
Support.
And
Great. Well, I'll just,
for you,
I'm good. How are you?
thank you.
Thank you for putting us on the agenda today. My name's Jake Himes. I'm a director of development with Elmington, representing the company tonight, joined by Alex Deek, our land use counsel. Yeah, just here to answer any questions.
I'm so sorry. Mr. Lucas, would you mind taking the conversation
Thank you.
out? Thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem. Yeah, just here tonight to answer any questions about the resolution before you. Yeah, I'll stop there.
Thank you. Thank you for being here
Sure.
again. All right, well, I think that our board is very comfortable with the proposal, and so I'd like to please go ahead and call the vote. Is there a motion in place? Yeah. Everything was corrected? Okay. Could we please have a roll call, clerk?
Schwartz,
Yes.
Robinson, yes, McKinney, Lewis,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Dabish Yakine.
Yes. All right, it's unanimous. Thank you. Sure.
Add that we had drafted with Alex's help a proposal for a payment in lieu of taxes for it to go under the State Housing Act. Happy to come back next month, obviously, to discuss it, but just want to add that our funding from MISTA is dependent on the pilot being enacted.
Yep.
So it is time sensitive, and their bond cap is on a first come first served basis. So we just put that out there, and if you need anything else from us for it, just let me know.
Okay, you should.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
All right, thank you all.
If any questions about the pilot, I would chat with Mr. Lucas, and we'll make sure that we're being thoughtful about your timeline.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So moving to C, thank you. Ordinance number 202, which is a burning ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 105, second reading. Is there a motion?
Second.
Okay. Clerk, if we could please have a roll call?
Devereaux,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Davish Akine,
Yes, aye.
McKinney, Robinson, yes, Schwartz.
Yes.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Moving to D, ordinance number 203, Consumers Energy Company Gas Franchise Ordinance, repealing, replacing ordinance number 136, second reading. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Can we please have a roll call?
Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Robinson, yes, McKinney, Schwartz.
Yes.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Davish Akine,
Aye. All right, moving to new business, which is our new number, item A. That is a resolution to approve a professional assessing services agreement with WCA Assessing. And we have the folks from WCA here in the audience, and I'd love for them to join us at the podium. Is there a motion?
Support.
And we'll have discussion. Thank you for joining us, and if you could just share a smidge about your company, and I'm so glad that we connected some months ago.
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight. My name is Doug Shaw. I'm managing partner for WCA Assessing. I have with me Tracy Haley, our company. She's been with our company for about 33 years. My company was started back in 1982 by my father, and we were contractually the assessor for the Township of Canton and Plymouth Township. The company has grown throughout the years. Predominantly, our early growth was in Western Wayne County. We then became the assessor in Ann Arbor Township, and then our growth started to spread throughout all of Wayne County, Washtenaw County. We were the assessor in Linden Township, City of Chelsea. We have large jurisdictions, the City of Westland, Canton Township, as I mentioned before, City of Taylor. We even represent communities out west of here, the City of Battle Creek, City of Kalamazoo. We also represent the rural communities around Battle Creek and Kalamazoo. Rural communities in this area, we represent the Grosse Points. So we have, what I'm trying to get across is we have a vast knowledge base of our assessing staff. We have over 50 employees in our company. We provide assessing services where if you go into Canton Township, we fully staff that office with multiple employees. They've been there. They would be considered the longest serving, if they were employees, the longest serving employee for Canton Township. That is the norm with a lot of our clients. We are the longest serving entity in those communities. Our contracts are always renewed. We look forward to doing the Township of Superior. We're not in the business to replace assessors. We never advertise. We solely go on word of mouth, and that's the only way we operate. We turn down more business than we accept over time because we always want our growth to be managed, controlled. We want to make sure we provide the professional level of service to our existing clients, but also our new clients. So that explains our slow, steady growth.
And I would chime in, and I became aware of your organization through word of mouth and through a partner at Plant Moran who sang your company's praises, and spoke to our neighbors in Ann Arbor Township, and they're happy with their partnership. So.
Great.
Yeah. Please.
Most definitely. Tracy, actually, she certifies the City of Chelsea, Linden Township, and Ann Arbor Township. So she's very knowledgeable, and she has working relationships with everybody in Washtenaw County.
I think I was going to ask a very similar question because the assessor and I actually work pretty much side by side during the board of reviews and preparation for taxes, as well as, any changes in PREs and so on and so forth. So just wondering, once this document is signed, how soon I'll be able to meet with somebody, because we need to talk real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Like yesterday,
So-
last week.
Luckily, I'll chime in before I hand it over to you.
I'm sure we can meet this week, even though our contract doesn't start till July 1st. I'm all for
He's
hitting the ground running.
Are you working without pay? That's crazy work. Okay.
Mr. Schwartz?
Do you think you'd be able and be ready for the July board of review?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Word of mouth. All right, let's call the question, please. The roll call, please, clerk.
Dabish Akine,
Aye.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
McKinney, Schwartz,
Yes.
Robinson, yes.
Okay, it's unanimous.
All right.
Look forward to chatting with you guys later this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Talk to
Thank-
you guys this week.
Yes.
All right.
Gotta hang out with me and Lisa now.
Take care.
Thank you. Excellent. Okay, moving to what is now number B, item B under new business, which is the wild type ecological services proposal.
Second.
Is there any discussion about what's before us?
Call the question.
I think it's a great idea.
Okay, likewise, I think it seems quite reasonable, and thank you for putting this together, Mr. Schwartz.
Thank you for presenting it tonight.
Of course, let's call a vote then. Since there's dollars involved.
We do.
$16.
Yeah. If there's dollars.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say? I'm
No,
sorry.
I was just saying $1, so we gotta do a roll call.
Yeah. Ready?
Sure am.
Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
McKinney, Schwartz.
Yes.
Robinson, yes. Devereaux,
Yes.
Dabish Akine,
Aye. Moving to C, which is Resolution 2026-26, which is a resolution to approve the purchase of self-contained breathing apparatus on a FEMA AFG for the Superior Township Fire Department. Mr. Kimball, would you like to join us if we've got any questions? I think the board's rather talked out. Maybe, unless you just want to come say hello. We want to apply to a grant. We want to save a lot of money. Yeah, we need to replace these anyway.
I
Good
mean,
evening.
this looks wonderful.
Thank you for shopping for so many grants.
Been fun.
Keep
Good.
it up.
I'm learning a lot.
Awesome.
We're having a good time. Okay.
Absolutely.
Great, well, we'll call the question, but thank you for being here. What's this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I say one quick thing?
Of course, Ms. Devereaux.
I have a lot to say about literally everything. And I just wanted to say, yeah, right? Shocking. But no, I just wanted to say thank you so much because everything you submit so far, Chief Kimball, is just, it's so easy to follow as somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. I'm not a fireman, but it's been very easy to review everything you submit. So I really appreciate it. I will usually have a question and then my question's answered like 2 paragraphs later.
Good.
So the write-ups have been great. So thank you.
What's up? All right.
I'd just like to add to that. No, I'm playing.
Come on, take that. Thank you. Very cool project. Can we please have a roll call, clerk?
yes. Schwartz,
Yes.
Robinson, yes. McKinney, Lewis,
Yeah.
Green,
Yes.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Dabish Akine.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, see you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're moving to Resolution 2026-27, which is now item D. A resolution declaring July 2026 as Parks and Recreation Month in the Charter Township of Superior. Is
So
there a
moved.
Motion?
Support. And I just would like to add on page 313, I just want to make sure that this is for the Charter Township of Superior. Can someone help me? Just want to make sure this is for the Charter Township of Superior.
Yes, yes.
Because that's not how it reads. Just want to be certain. Thank
I
you.
think the resolution was correct. The submission had it.
Probably.
Little typo.
Just want to make sure.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, it sure is. Fantastic. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. E, Resolution 2026-28, resolution to approve and purchase the installation of a water softening system for the Dixboro Schoolhouse. Is there a motion?
I just have one comment, is that I support this totally. I'm not sure
Should
it
we-
will be enough with the iron.
Second.
we have.
Yeah, you have to move it in second before you discuss it.
All right. thought it was. But anyways, they might be coming back for like an iron curtain system. We'll see how it works out.
Well, please ask Mr. Bradford, what his research, shows here.
I am going to take trustee Schwartz's word on that because that water there's a lot of minerals in it. So we're hoping the filtration system, the softener that we put in there will capture most of it, but it's going to be wait and see what it looks like when the system's in. We will also need, it is not included in this bid because these contractors did not handle it, will be a way to discharge our water. So that's something we'll be getting set up as well. But these three bids are all very similar products, all doing the same thing.
Thank you.
This
Please, Ms. McKinney.
coming out of park funds or general fund as far as payment?
This is slated to come out of general fund. Okay. Okay, and two, is a side note, to continue to fundraise for the schoolhouse. And as a reminder to the board, please check out our purchase agreement with the Methodist Church, just to serve as a reminder of what our obligations are. I have been seeking to uniquely use funds that are fundraised, but we do have a variety of rehab projects at the schoolhouse that we should do quite shortly. But please know that I'm trying to continue to fundraise, but we do have some outstanding obligations.
It's the number one spot in Superior.
Ew.
Just a clarifying question. So why out of the general fund and not parks?
I think that that's an important point of discussion too. With this property, we initially treated it as a township asset, but something frankly that I've struggled with is getting a grasp on whether the asset is under the jurisdiction of the board or Parks and Rec.
So do we have clarification on that? Is it under the Parks and Rec or is it under the board?
Mr. Bradford?
I feel like I might have opened up a can here.
Signed to them.
State statutes do identify that any park or any property used for park recreation or leisure are under the jurisdiction of an elected Parks and Recreation Commission or an elected park commission. So this is a place of park recreation and leisure, and it was purchased with Parks and Recreation funds.
But Juan, I don't think the board ever actually dedicated it as a park to be governed by the Park Commission. I think we just kind of dropped that ball or didn't make that decision. Because I'm sure we did not, but maybe we should. Good point. That's something I think we could look at.
Okay.
But now.
So you telling me not to do anything at Dixboro anymore? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, but
Okay.
We need to clarify. We can
Okay.
move on with something.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I am now confused.
So, and you're thinking then is that this should come out of the Parks Reserve?
Well, it also, well, so, okay, if I'm understanding Juan correctly, this property should be designated under parks, the Parks and Rec Commission. If I'm understanding Ken correctly, was there action that had to be taken by this board?
Be dedicated to the parks.
Which it never was.
Where would that be? Where would that be stated?
Well,
It has to be
in the
dedicated.
Board packets somewhere, but I don't think we ever did that. We just bought it and just continued on. We said it might be a park, but we never did a dedication.
Did we buy it or did Parks buy it?
Parks bought it.
So I think I might know where some of the confusion is coming from. So since it is a parks, or at least it's been operated, let's say, call it that way. Like it's been operated, it was purchased with parks funding. It's been operated as a parks property. I think the confusion might be why the general fund is funding this versus the parks.
Because in the purchase agreement outlined that the township would pay for XYZ improvements.
Out of the general fund.
Yes, installation of a bathroom, completion of the sidewalk,
By general
repair of the fence. Yeah.
I
couple
think
different
that's
things.
where the confusion was. So like if the purchase agreement says the general fund will pay for all of these improvements, then that makes more sense. I think that at least my confusion was, okay, if it was purchased with parks funding and it's been operated as a parks property, then why is the general fund picking up the tab for this?
Sure.
But that, if it's in the
Yeah, then that makes
If
sense.
it's in there, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
As a clarity for the future, it does seem like this question about designation under parks or the board needs to be rectified in the immediate future.
So let's ask Fred. Fred, before a township property can be transferred to parks to be operated or whatever, shouldn't there be at least a resolution to that effect dedicating? No.
Even if nothing else would have been a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yes.
That's the answer?
Oh, yeah.
We can bring that up at the next
I could have
meeting.
said that back there and just yelled it, but yes, it should be,
I
it
don't
should be a
think-
resolution.
I don't think it ever was.
Okay.
The transfer of, if you're transferring the title to the part of the
No,
part.
not the title. Title's gonna receive, all title,
Title will remain stay here. What are you transferring in?
the authority to act on.
Yes, there still needs to be a resolution approving that, absolutely. If it's just transferring any authority from the township board to any
Department.
department or subcommittee or whatever, requires a vote of the township board.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay.
All right, shall we call the vote?
Yes.
Yep, Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Dabish Akine,
Aye.
McKinney.
Yes.
Robinson, yes. Schwartz.
Yes.
It's unanimous. Thank you. So a resolution 2026-29, resolution to approve a codification agreement with General Code LLC for the creation, review, publication, and maintenance of the Charter Township of Superior Code of Ordinances. Yeah, you're expecting that.
Yeah.
We have a motion on it? I'll move it.
Can we have a motion?
I'll move
Is
it.
there a second? Thank you, Ms. McKinney.
I reviewed the three bids that we received. We got one from CivPro, which runs a company called MuniCode, which is actually probably one of the bigger companies that does this. There was another one called American Legal, and then the one that we're looking at is what's it called? General Code. I spoke to a lot of my clients who use these different. First of all, you understand the need for this. At present, we just need to codify our ordinances so we're not got this mishmash of ordinances that we presently have. So I spoke to a number of my clients. I also looked at the cost. The most important thing one of the things I was looking at, because I wasn't so concerned about the upfront costs, although they were all relatively the same. There was a couple, I think American Legal might have been actually a little cheaper, but the recurring or annual cost from General was the most reasonable. CivPro was like at $5,000 a month, a year. And American, and General was at somewhere around 1,100, 1,200, something like that. So I think that, again, it wasn't the upfront cost that, they weren't the cheapest upfront, but they were, everyone I've talked to about them, and I know quite a few communities that use them, they're happy with them. So I think that's something that we should go with. That's why I made the recommendation that I made.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas. Mr. Schwartz.
So this is long overdue and tried to get it passed. Prior clerk said, I'm not doing it, even though she didn't really have much work, but she was going to lay it on her a little bit. And she didn't do it. She kept shooting it down. And I said, the statute requires it every 10 years, I believe.
Well, you don't have to codify, okay? But let me point this out. We found something that was surprising. I didn't even know this. Your ordinances were actually codified at one time. And I was not even aware of that because every time you go on your website, you don't see a code book. All you see are the various ordinances listed by number. But
I imagine some of that codification was reversed or supplemented with the other ordinances.
Well, I don't think it was ever updated. I don't
Yeah,
think.
no.
This is some.
Cody was our clerk, yeah.
This is great. I love the fun facts.
Yeah.
Let's call the question.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Thanks, guys. Yep.
All righty.
Supper's waiting.
Robinson, yes. Schwartz.
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Dabish Akine.
Aye, aye.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Dana.
Thank you, Mr. Green. All right, G, Resolution 2026-30. The resolution to appoint members to the Superior Township Beautification Committee. Is there a motion?
Support.
Hey, appoint him.
I do have a friendly amendment that we need to make, and so I'm guessing someone else needs to make it, but just a piece of information. So some bittersweet news that Keith Arthur, one of our applicants, will not be able to join us. The reason that it's bittersweet is because he got accepted into an accelerated master's program, which is just wonderful for him, and we're thrilled, and he's going to keep volunteering, but he's not going to be able to dedicate the time to the actual committee. So we will need to just appoint Patty and Michelle this evening. I included quite a bit of information about all of them in your packets. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. They're both great. Well, I think we have to amend it, right? Because I think their names are in here.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think you can make that amendment.
Yeah.
Can I make that amendment? Okay, I wasn't sure because I did the resolution. That's okay? Okay. So we would just need to make a friendly amendment to remove, there's a paragraph that says, whereas Keith Arthur has applied for a community seat, et cetera, et cetera. So we just need to move Keith's paragraph, and then we're correct.
So Sarah, when you make a friendly amendment, you have to ask the movement if
Oh,
it's okay with them, and it's
right.
okay with me.
Okay. What do I do next, Angela?
Call the question.
Is that okay? Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Did somebody second? Sarah?
Second.
Can move
I
it.
think,
Her amendment?
yep.
Okay, and then who
Yeah.
supported?
All right,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
why don't we do
Supported.
it right?
Satisfied with
Yeah.
that.
Right, let's make,
Move it.
I'll make the motion that the friendly amendment is acceptable to me,
Excellent.
and then that's what we'll be voting on.
Right, and Lisa seconded it.
Yeah,
Great,
thank
all right,
you.
all in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous and maintains friendliness. Moving to H, which is a resolution 2026-31, resolution to approve a contract with Balfour Restoration for destruction of flood damaged township documents.
So moved.
So,
What was damaged in the
It
basement?
was in the basement, it was old voting records, and we had to connect with the Secretary of State around how to dispose, so there's black mold on them and.
Oh, wow.
yes.
Yeah, so it's outside.
It was in our basement over here, or
Town hall,
that,
town hall.
okay.
But it's up to snuff for them. so.
Not a pleasant aroma in there.
Shall we call the vote?
Yep.
Mhm.
Deborah Scheckheim,
Aye.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
McKinney, Robinson, yes, Schwartz.
Yes.
Okay, there's no discussion. And moving to bills for payment and record of disbursement. Okay.
Second.
Call the question.
Will all the questions have a vote? Please, clerk, with your help.
Devereaux,
Yes.
Deborah Scheckheim,
Aye.
Green,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
McKinney, Robinson, yes, Schwartz.
Yes.
All right, it's unanimous. Thanks for paying the bills. And moving to pleas and petitions. Ms. Lewis.
I would just like to thank the clerk and her staff for the beautiful tabs that they have in here with the page numbers on here. That is absolutely wonderful.
Game changer.
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
always had to ask Dana.
Clap. I want to clap.
Thank you. Very helpful.
You're
Now,
welcome.
see, look, Brenda, you like that, right?
Any questions?
Nice.
Right.
All right, Mr. Collins, you're here for pleas and petitions? Oh, did I skip somebody? Ms. Devereaux. Why don't you go ahead, Ms. Devereaux?
So yeah, my plea this evening, actually is in regards to Mr. Collins. I do want to make sure, that we are very clear, around the actions and the requirements, that we are asking for. So when we say scaled back, I think it's really important for us to define what scaled back actually looks like. Like, what does that actually mean? And then what specifically would we want changed? And then just another plea, for my part, I would really like to see a staffing plan, for where the staff is going to come from, what volunteers you already have committed, or Mr. Collins already has committed, just so that we have actual assurance and evidence of what the capacity looks like to be able to manage the amended area plan.
Support that. Thank you. Mr. Collins?
Two things. I did not get to hear the test results if they came back about the soil. I would like to know about that before my 3 minutes is up, because I want to talk about,
I'll send that to you, and it's, yep, we've got a printout that we can share with you.
Okay.
Thank you. You mentioned.
Because the last meeting that we did go to, you guys said that I cannot sell any produce until the test results come back. So I'm just waiting on that.
Right here, completed this morning. Thank you.
Okay. Superior Day worked out pretty well for Rilla Run Acres in the Clay Hill operation. We brought in 400 pounds of variety of potatoes. We had 4 different types of potatoes. In order to teach the community that do not know how to grow potatoes, we brought it in again. This will be our 3rd year. We brought in brown potato, which is a russet Burbank potato. We brought in a gold potato, is a Yukon Gold. We brought in a pink potato, which is a red blush. It's called red Lasorda. And we also brought in red Pontiac. Out of 400 pounds of potatoes that we had brought in, we left back with at least 25 pounds of potatoes left over. So it was a very good success that we handed out potatoes to the community so that way the community can grow their own potatoes. We did not charge anyone for these potatoes because our goal is to provide education and also for food justice and food security for residents to have their access of growing their own food. One of our goals next is to continue to promote pollinator gardens. The most important thing is to bring back and maintain milkweed plants and also pineapple sage. Pineapple sage is an annual, but milkweed is a perennial. Some see it as a problem, some see it as a nuisance, but I see it as food for the pollinators. It is very important that we create 100 way stations or as many stations for local residents to have their own monarch butterfly habitat. And also with that, it will be able to be included with a pineapple sage. Pineapple sage is a burgundy flower to a maroon red, and we always have the same hummingbirds that come back year after year to the Clay Hill spot. It's been 3 years, and how you can tell a bird that comes back? Well, that same bird comes back because it comes to our face, hovers, and goes back. So it's not like every bird gets the opportunity to come to you in your face. So hummingbird migration is very important for us to teach the community about the friendliness of birds, at the same time, the friendliness of monarch butterflies. Also, swallowtails are Michigan's state butterfly, so we just want to make sure that we have that included. So if we can, let's promote and help partner with Superior Township, with Rilla Run Acres, to help create pollinator gardens if possible, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything online? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second to adjourn?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
You motioned and seconded your own motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Any
That's good. She's ready to go home. She making a motion.
Been ready for an hour.